freedom and for truth. Her shining rivers teem with fish and mountains lush with trees. Her fertile fields abound with yield our blessings for our meat. Bless Isabella, gracious Lord, and keep her in your fold. In unison we all proclaim her providential fame. Bless Isabella, gracious Lord, and keep her in your fold. In unison we all proclaim her providential
Sulong pa, sige amante, ilagang. Sulong pa, sige amante, ilagang. Kilos pa, bago yung pag-aitang. Iyodot na, itayaw na ilagang. Marunga na ikiwata, sulong pa, arupaga ikiwata. Sige abante, ilagang. Sulong pa, sige abante, ilagang. Sulong pa, sige abante, ilagang. Kilos pa, bago yung pag-aitang. Iyodot na, itayaw na ilagang. Aray yung anain na beta, sulong pa, aray yung pag-ain. Sige abante, ilagang. Sulong pa, sige abante, ilagang. Sulong pa, sige abante, ilagang. Kilos pa, bago yung pag-aitang. Iyodot na, itayaw na ilagang. Atan ng anain ng mabata, sulong pa, etang pag-angatan naman. Sige abante, ilagang. Sulong pa, sige abante, ilagang. Sulong pa, sige abante, ilagang. Kilos pa, bago yung pag-aitang. Iyodot na, itayaw na ilagang.
Good morning! Isabela National High School on Air Senior High School Champ Campus Radio 97 MHz located at Isabela National High School, San Vicente City of Ilagan, Isabela is now beginning to broadcast. Our 50 watts transmitter found at San Vicente City of Ilagan, Isabela is owned by the Department of Education Region 2. Our technical team is led by our Principal 4, Mr. Silvino B. Cabangan, and Assistant Principal 2, Ma'am Elvira A. De Los Reyes. INHS SHS faculty and staff fully supported by the Schools Division Office of the City of Ilagan through the leadership of the Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Gilbert Naragtong. This radio station aims to provide relevant, accessible, and quality education to all INHS SHS learners. This likewise aims to propel our students' journey in the realization of their dreams and aspirations in life. Again, good morning and may the Lord bless us all. Isabela National High School on Air Senior High School Champ Campus Radio is now signing on.
Heto na ang campus radio station na kampiyon sa puso ng bawat Ilagenyo.
INHS on Air, INHS Senior High School Champ Campus Radio 97 MHz FM.
Kampiyon sa pag-aaral.
Your homeschooling buddy.
Isang mapagpalang araw mga
Welcome to our English class.
Kampiyon sa tugtugan at kantahan.
Gusto kitang isayaw ng mapaka.
Cause I'm in the stars tonight. So watch me bring the fire, set the night light.
Kampiyon sa inspirasyon at pagsasamahan.
I love senior high school.
INHS on Air Senior High School Champ Campus Radio. Sa INHS SHS Champ Campus Station, you are the champion. Champ Campus Radio.
Dito, mapapawaw ka.
Champ Campus Radio.
Tiyak panalo ka.
Oh yeah!
INHS on Air Senior High School Champ Campus Radio.
De Luna,
Present.
Herrera,
Present.
Valera,
Present.
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present.
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo ah.
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher eh.
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
Tatay, tapos na ako sa elementarya. Paano po ako makakapag-sekundarya? Ganito naman ang sitwasyon. Parang nakakatamad naman pong mag-aral.
Madali lang yan anak. Easy peasy. Education is exciting. Studying is challenging. DepEd now I blend with learning. This is what you're gonna do. Google Classroom in the morning. Messenger radio is alright. Module at Zoom in the daytime. Browsing, searching all the time. Stay at home na muna student. Sabot ng teacher, studies nyo. Teaching, guiding, and helping students with all their might.
Huwag mawawala ng pag-asa. Maging positibo lang sa buhay, huwag lang sa COVID.
INHS On Air Senior High School, 97 MHz FM.
Redefining ideas and served through research innovations. Delving to the most relevant educational issues and concerns. Making sense of the data gathered and proposed interventions. It's time for Research Subject. Research Subject.
Yes, amazing morning, City of Ilagan, especially to our curious and enthusiastic grade 11 researchers. You're listening to INHS Senior High School, Champ Campus Radio, 97 MHz. To be able to have a wider reach of audience, the school have decided to come up with this project to ensure that teaching and learning will continue despite the COVID-19 pandemic. Welcome to the week 2 of our learning episode in Practical Research 1. I'm your radio mentor, Teacher Majo, for today's learning episode. I hope that you're excited as I discover with you the exciting and baffling world of research. And as Albert Zent Georgi quoted, research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. So geared up, our dear learners, and together, let us unravel things that nobody else yet has thought. Are you ready? Okay, so if yes, may I request our HUMS 11 students to send a thumbs up reaction. Okay, for our STEM 11 students to send a heart reaction. Of course, our ABM students, send a care reaction please. Lastly, for our ADT 11 students, kindly send a wow reaction. Okay, there we have it. So, floods of reactions in our comment section and in our Facebook Live. So, since you are all ready, please grab your module, pen, notebook, and be sure you are in your most comfortable place because you are now ready to take our journey to the world of research. Okay, so in our last week's learning episode, you have learned about the definition of research, its importance, and the 5 characteristics of research, right? May we have a quick review of our past lesson? So kindly send po your learnings on those topics. Okay, repeat. Please send some of your learnings from our previous learning episode. Okay, and we will read some of those after these important reminders.
De Luna,
Present!
Herrera,
Present!
Valera,
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Okay, yes. We're back. Okay, here in INHS Champ Campus Radio, 97 MHz. So let us now read some of the responses from our listeners. Okay, so according to Brian, okay, just remember the mnemonic SOFEC or SOFEC for the characteristics of research. Okay, namely systematic, objective, feasible, empirical, and clear. Okay, so another response is that from Roland. Yes, research is important because it aims for truth, improves quality of human life, saves life, gathers necessary information, and explores humanity. Okay, very good. And lastly, okay, for the definition of research according to Angeline, research is a systematic investigation or inquiry entailing collection of data, documentation of critical information, analysis and interpretation of information. Okay, and a lot of learnings po we can see in our comment section. So congratulations grade 11 students for participating in that review. Okay, so I know you're all well versed that you are required to accomplish a research output, okay, at the end of the semester. But do you know the steps to take in making a research? If so, may you please key in to our comment section the answer to this question. Yan. What do you think are the steps in making a research? Okay, again, what do you think are the steps in making a research? Okay, so we will give you enough time to answer that. So we will have first a short break.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
Tatay, tapos na ako sa elementarya. Paano po ako makakapag-sekundarya? Ganito naman ang sitwasyon. Parang nakakatamad naman pong mag-aral.
Madali lang yan, anak. Easy peasy.
Education is exciting. Studying is challenging. DepEd now I blend with learning. This is what you're gonna do. Google Classroom in the morning. Messenger radio is alright. Module at Zoom in the daytime. Browsing, searching all the time. Stay at home na muna, student. Sagot ng teacher, studies nyo. Teaching, guiding, and helping students with all their mind.
Huwag mawawala ng pag-asa. Maging positibo lang sa buhay, huwag lang sa COVID.
Okay, yes, welcome back. And so let me read now some of the responses from our dear listeners of what they think are the steps in making a research. Okay, so according to Alina Isabel, first is identification of a research problem. Second, formulation of hypothesis. Third, review of related literature. Fourth, preparation of research design. Fifth, actual experimentation. Sixth, results and discussion. And seventh, formulation of conclusions and recommendations. Okay, very good answer, Alina. It seems that you are well versed in your research subject. Okay, let's have another response from Daniela Rosete. Yeah, the 7 steps of research process. We have identify and develop your topic. Second, find background information. Okay, third, use catalogs to find books and media. Fourth, use databases to find journal articles. Fifth, find internet resources. Sixth, evaluate what you find or what you have found out. 7, cite what you find or what you found using a standard format. Okay, this is also correct. And thank you very much, Daniela and Alina. Okay, some of our listeners are also sending their answers on our comment section. Okay, so thank you very much for actively participating in that question. Okay, so summing it up, it is not far by our well-known scientific method, right? Okay, hence, at the end of our learning episode, you are expected to describe the different processes and ethics of research. Okay, so we will be having a discussion about the processes of research later. So starting with the research process. Okay. Okay, so we have here research process. The question is, What is research process? Okay, as we can see in our monitor, it is a systematic manner in which the researcher approaches his or her area of study to produce knowledge that the community will consider to be worthwhile within the field. Okay, that is according to Rao in 2017. Now, I will be presenting you the simplified flow of the significant steps you need to take in conducting a study or research. Okay, so we'll have now step 1. Okay, for our step 1, we need to define the research problem. Okay, so to begin your research, you must look at a significant real-life problem. Okay, so you need to identify a certain problem. Okay, factors like area of interests, availability of fund, socioeconomic significance of the study, and the safety measures to be undertaken should be considered in finding and defining the research problem. Okay, so in this step, we need to find for a problem. Okay, what are the things in your environment you considered a problem? So for example, okay, listen carefully. The researcher identifies English language proficiency as a problem of senior high school students in qualifying for admission test to prestigious universities. Again, I repeat, this is an example po. The researchers identify English language proficiency as a problem of senior high school students in qualifying for admission to prestigious university. Okay. For example, we can get the source of this problem in the NAT result or the National Achievement Tests. Okay, now it's your turn. Observe your surroundings, your environment, in your academics, or think of issues students like you are dealing with. Okay, what are the problems you are dealing with right now? And identify the problem. Okay, we would like to know those problems, so please comment it in our section, in our group chat, and we will read some of that after our short break. Okay, please share your identified problem. Okay, as you observe in your surroundings, environment, academics, in different aspects, emotional, physical, and the like. Okay, and we will be reading those potential problems as we have our short break.
De Luna,
Present!
Herrera,
Present!
Valera,
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher eh.
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
Okay, we're back, and of course, we're now ready to read the potential problems that our students, our listeners are encountering. So may we start with the answer of Jeffrey Del Rosario. He said, the availability of valid informations about this upcoming 2022 elections. Okay, that is a potential problem for Jeffrey. Thank you. Okay, another response from Alina. Okay, she said, pandemic its effect on the academic performances of students. Okay, this is quite interesting, no? Because we all know that we have suffered almost 2 years or 2 years from the pandemic. Okay, thank you very much, Alaina. Another is from James Jose Kawilan, Judgmental Society. Okay. Okay, another response from Dan Daryl Passion. Okay. Problem on hard times in solving mathematics problem. Okay, very good. Ayan, this is also a potential problem, Dan Daryl. So, we can also see more problems po on our comment section. And take note of that problems because it might be your study later on as we proceed to or as we accomplish your research paper. Okay. So let us now proceed to the step 2 of research process. We have, the review of the literature. Okay, so for this, you need to read various publications or surf the internet to become aware of the previous works already done about the chosen topic. You may utilize different resources like science books, magazines, journals, newspaper, or even the internet. Okay, but be sure po that as we search for the different informations, we need to double check if that information is true. Okay? So for example, in our review of the literature, the researcher reviews previous studies conducted about English language proficiency and the experienced difficulties of senior high school students. This is connected to our presented problem, in step 1. So after identifying the problem, the researcher needs to review previous studies, conducted about language or English language proficiency and the experiences of senior high school students. Okay, so that is for our review of the literature. Okay, proceeding to the step 3 or the third step, we have to formulate our hypothesis. Okay, so a hypothesis is a theoretical statement in solving a logical relationship between variables. It should be based on the problem being solved. Okay, we have known, right, that hypothesis is a wild guess or an educated guess. Okay, so moreover, we need a theoretical statement or a logical relationship between our variables. And of course, it should be related to your problem. Okay, so for example, based from our sample problem, we have the hypothesis. The researcher hypothesizes that the implementation of English-only policy or EOP in the classroom can improve the English language proficiency of senior high school. Okay, take note po, in our problem, the researcher identified that the problem is the English language proficiency. Okay, hence in the formulation of the hypothesis, the researcher hypothesizes that implementation of English-only policy in the classroom could help, to improve English language proficiency. Okay, you are now citing a possible or potential solution as you hypothesize. Okay, and can you please send a heart reaction if you can still follow po in our discussion? Okay, let me see our comment section and okay, ayan. Okay, thank you very much for sending those reactions, not knowing that you are still with me. Okay, so we'll now proceed to the fourth step. Yeah, fourth step is to prepare the research design. Okay, again, step 4, prepare the research design. Okay, so for this, you need to identify what is the best means to collect and analyze data in the study to clarify and improve the research problem, purpose, and questions. Okay, so for this, the example is the researcher uses an experimental design on exploring the experiences of students in implementing English-only policy or EOP. Okay, so for the research design in this example, it is experimental design. Okay, so as we go along po no, in our discussions, we will tackle one by one what are the different research designs. Okay, but one of the research designs is the experimental design. Okay. So let's have now the fifth step. Okay, collect data. Again, you need to collect data. Of course, you need to use an appropriate data collection method to elicit the needed information. Okay, so what are the materials or instruments that you can use in collecting a data? Can you please comment down if you know something po? What are the different instruments that we could use to collect our data? Yeah, so we will read some of your questions after our short break.
Tatay, tapos na ako sa elementarya. Paano po ako makakapag-sekundarya? Ganito naman ang sitwasyon. Parang nakakatamad naman pong mag-aral.
Madali lang yan, anak. Easy peasy.
Education is exciting. Studying is challenging. And now I blend with learning. This is what you're gonna do. Google Classroom in the morning. Messenger radio is alright. Module at Zoom in the daytime. Browsing, searching all the time. Stay at home na muna, student. Sagot ng teacher, studies nyo. Teaching, guiding, and helping students with all their mind.
Huwag mawawala ng pag-asa. Maging positibo lang sa buhay, huwag lang sa COVID.
Okay, we're back. Let us now read, of course, the responses from our students. What are the instruments we are using in collecting our data? So we have an answer from Mabigale. She said it's survey. Okay, very good, Mabigale. Another is from Althea. Okay, saying it is an interview. Okay, thank you, Althea. Another from another Althea, yan, through surveys. Janice Win, interview. Okay, very good. Jeffrey saying questionnaires. Okay, Chari, books, and Naren, interview. Okay, you are all correct. Very good. Okay, so for example naman po, based from our presented example a while ago, okay, about the English language proficiency of senior high school students. So in the fifth step, okay, the researcher collects data through interview and focus group discussion. Okay, so in collecting the data, in this example, the instrument is through interview and focus group discussion. Okay, so you can also use observations if you are into experimental studies and surveys depending on the needed data of the research problem. Okay, so we will be digging more of it as we go along with our subject. Okay, thank you very much for the responses. Okay, so we will now move to the sixth step. Okay, our sixth step is analyze data. Okay, so utilize strategies and methods that make sense of the data to answer the research problem. There are several methods and techniques to perform analysis depending on the industry and the aim of the analysis. Okay, so in the analyzing of data po, it is different to qualitative and quantitative researches. Okay, so we will discussing that maybe next week, because we will start the topic on differentiating qualitative and quantitative researches. Okay, so for this one, okay, relating to our example, okay, it says here, the researcher analyzes the data by drawing patterns and themes from the generated data. So for the analyzation of data, the researcher in the example uses drawing of patterns and themes. Okay? That is our 6th step, analyze the data. Okay, let's have the last step, or the 7th step. Okay, we have to interpret and report the findings. In here, we need to put the information in perspective and present the solution to the proposed problem based on the findings of the investigation. So since this is a process, we have a problem, we need to come up with a certain solution or the potential solutions to this problem, because that is the aim of research, okay, to solve a problem. Okay, so based from our example, okay, the interpretation and report of findings is this. Okay, listen. The researcher interprets and reports the findings based on the collected and analyzed data to solve the research problem. English-only policy was mentioned as an intervention, okay, in this step report, if that is effective or not. Okay, so since in our hypothesis we mentioned that it can be a potential solution, right? The English-only policy. In the interpretation and report of findings, we need to cite if this intervention is effective or not. Okay, so that we can help also other classes or group of people who have a problem po, same problem with English language proficiency. Okay, so all in all, we have 7 research processes which can help us out in conducting our research study. Okay, with that, I have a question for you. Yan. What is the importance of following the research processes? Again, I repeat, what is the importance of following research processes? Okay, or the research process. Okay, so we will be continuing this discussion after this infomercial.
De Luna,
Present!
Herrera,
Present!
Valera,
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Okay, we're back. Okay, so we're now ready to read some of the responses from our dear students. Okay, so let's start with April. Okay, to make the research clear and well organized. Okay, very good, April. This is true. Okay, another response. And from Aldwin Padilla, he said it is important to follow the research process for your research to be valid. Of course, validity is also an important part of research. Okay, very good also, Aldwin. Thank you very much. Okay, may we read this answer from Mary Jane Melad. And to organize the research. Of course, we need to organize our research. Lastly, we have Riza, to make research clear and well organized. Okay, same with Aaron. Okay. And many other students. Okay, thank you very much for those responses. They are all correct. Okay, so as we go along po in your research outputs, we are hoping that you will follow the different research processes. Okay. I'm looking forward for that you and Zoo, your research studies, will be able to utilize these steps. Okay, so moving now to our next topic, we have research ethics. Okay, so aside from the characteristics and processes of research, you also need to know the importance of ethics. Okay, because it will guide you in considering the ethical codes and policies you have to follow in writing and conducting a research. Okay, but before that, let us define what is ethics. Ayan. So you can see in our slide that ethics is a branch of knowledge that deals with moral principles on governing a person's behavior in the conduct of any activity. Okay, thus, may I ask you, why is it important to follow ethical principles in research? Okay, again, why is it important to follow ethical principles in research? Okay, so let us read some of the answers after this short break.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo ah.
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher eh.
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
De Luna,
Present!
Herrera,
Present!
Valera,
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Okay, we're back. Yes, so let us now read po some of the answers from our listeners of why is it important to follow ethical principles in research. Okay, so according to Alvin, there are several reasons why is it important to adhere to ethical norms in research. First, norms promote the aims of research such as knowledge, truth, and avoidance of error. For example, prohibitions against fabricating, falsifying, or misrepresenting research data promote the truth and minimize error. Ayan, thank you very much, Alvin. This is well constructed. Okay, another response from Isabel. Okay, research ethics are important for a number of reasons. They promote the aims of research such as expanding knowledge. They support the values required for collaborative work such as mutual respect and fairness. Okay, very well said also, Isabel. Yan, very good. Amazing. Yes, it's amazing, really. So thank you very much for those awesome responses. It is important to follow ethical principles in writing and conducting research because of this. Yan. So we have 5 importance of research ethics. First, you can read there, it promotes the aims of research. Okay, mainly, research aims to solve problems. Okay? Second, it upholds values that are essential to collaborative work. Third, it ensures that researchers can be held accountable to the public. Fourth, it builds public support for research. And lastly, it promotes a variety of moral and social values. Okay, so we have 5 importance of research ethics. Now, let us proceed to the ethical codes and policies for research. Okay, this discussion is according to the Book of Cristobal and Cristobal in 2017. Okay? In the book Practical Research 1 for Senior High School. Okay, so in here is the list of the following ethical codes and policies that the researcher needs to consider in conducting a study. Okay, so all in all, we have 15 ethical codes and policies. So bear with me as we finish these 15 ethical codes and policies. So starting with, we have honesty. Of course, the researcher should strive to truthfully report data in whatever form of communication all throughout the study. It is a must to achieve honesty in all science-related communication. Okay, so I hope this is very clear. Okay, so the teacher must honestly present information on the data. Okay, the researcher, research methods and procedures and publication status. It is prohibited to falsify and distort the data, to deceive colleagues, again, agencies aiding grants or the public. Okay, so in all circumstances, your research should be honest. The researchers should be honest. Okay, and the result you are intend to give to the public or to your readers should be honest. Okay, that is honesty. Second, we have objectivity. Okay, I think we discussed this already, no, last week in our learning episode. So when we say objectivity, the researcher should avoid being biased. Okay, the study should not be influenced by his or her personal motives, beliefs, and opinions. The researcher must disclose any personal or financial interest that might influence the scientific research. Okay, so that is objectivity. Third is integrity. Okay, integrity. The researcher should establish credibility through the consistency of his or her thought and action. He or she should act with sincerity, especially on keeping arrangements. Okay, so for example, you are intending to cascade your data gathering or collection of data through surveys, interview. Okay, in setting the date and time, you need to be on your toes, no? Keeping that arrangement or agreement na in right time and right date. Okay, so that is the third ethical code. Fourth, we have care. Okay, so for this one, the researcher should never neglect even the smallest detail of the study. All information should be critically examined. Records of research activities should be properly and securely kept. Okay, so we need to avoid careless errors, okay, and negligence. Carefully and critically examine your own work and the work of your peers, because research is very critical, okay? So you need an extra care in every detail of your research. Okay, let's have the fifth one. We have openness. The researcher should be willing to accept criticisms and new ideas for the betterment of the study. Research results and findings should be shared to the public. Okay. So if your research is good enough pa, no? Or it can contribute to or benefit the society, we can share it publicly so that other people or other researchers can use that study of yours. Okay, so with the first 5 ethics of research, we have honesty, objectivity, integrity, care, and openness. Do you have any experiences showing you applied these ethics? Okay, please have a quick review of your past experiences about research. Do you have any experiences showing honesty, objectivity, integrity, care, and openness? Okay, if yes, can you please share it in our comment section? And we will be reading those after this short break.
Tatay, tapos na ako sa elementarya. Paano po ako makakapag-sekundarya? Ganito naman ang sitwasyon. Parang nakakatamad naman pong mag-aral.
Madali lang yan, anak. Easy peasy.
Education is exciting. Studying is challenging. And now I blend with learning. This is what you're gonna do. Google Classroom in the morning. Messenger radio is alright. Module and Zoom in the daytime. Browsing, searching all the time. Stay at home na muna, student. Sagot ng teacher, studies nyo. Teaching, guiding, and helping students with all their mind.
Huwag mawawala ng pag-asa. Maging positibo lang sa buhay, huwag lang sa COVID.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher eh.
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
Okay. Yes, we're back. Okay, so let us see from the responses if you have applied this ethic codes. Okay, so from the answer of Seth Camayo, yes. Okay, when we did a research and a documentary in the past, the 5 ethics that was mentioned were applied in our research. Wow, this is a very good answer, Seth. This is a very good experience, I should say. And thank you, Seth. Another answer from Queen Jamela. Yes, also. And back when we're on junior high school, we've applied those ethical principles in our research problems. Okay, I'm happy that you have applied these principles. Thank you, Queen Jamela. And lastly, okay, same answer with Zyril po and Seth. Siguro magka-group sila nun. Okay. Okay, joking. So, yan. I'm happy that you have experience po, no, applying this, these ethical codes. Okay. So, let us now continue. Okay. The discussion on this one. We have the 6th ethical principle or codes. We have respect for intellectual property. Okay, I know you have heard the word plagiarism, right? Okay, anyone who can define it? Or what is plagiarism? Okay, send your answer in our comment section. Yan, let's see if who can give an immediate answer. What is plagiarism? From Sofia Agor Pernia, plagiarism is presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own, with or without their consent, by incorporating it into your work without full acknowledgement. Okay, very well said, Sophia. Thank you very much. Okay, so it's very clear, okay? This is using others' work without their full acknowledgement. Okay, so in this one, for respect for intellectual property, the researcher should not plagiarize. Okay, credit should be given to who and where it is due. All authors cited and sources used in the study should be properly acknowledged. Okay, be careful po, no, as you go and make your own research paper, please cite, okay, all the authors or sources that you have used. Okay. Next po is confidentiality. Yan, the seventh ethical code and principle is confidentiality. So in here, the researcher should take steps to protect all confidential communications or documents from being discovered by others. For example, personal records, trade or military secrets, and patient's record. Okay, so as you observed, no, maybe you have been a participant in a certain study. In the questionnaire or surveys, the name is optional oftentimes, right? Okay, because they just needed the data, and then if the study is quite sensitive, of course you need to make that data confidential. Okay, so that is confidentiality. Okay, number 8. Okay, we have responsible publication. Okay, for this one, the researcher should ensure that his or her work is clear, honest, complete, accurate, and balanced, thus avoiding wasteful and duplicate publication. It should likewise refrain from selective, misleading, or ambiguous reports. Okay, take note that research aims for truth, right? So, be sure that whatever you are publishing, no, researches, it should be honest, it should be clear, okay, and not subjective. And because we can mislead our readers or the people who can read that study or a publication. Okay, we have the 9th ethical principle. We have responsible mentoring. Okay, so here, the researcher should teach responsible conduct of research and share professional knowledge and skills, especially to new or less experienced researchers. Okay, mentors plays a very important role, no, to newbies in research. So, since you are all newbies, will be, of course, your teachers. We are going to lead you step by step, no, in conducting your own researches. Okay, we have the 10th, respect for colleagues. Okay, so for this one, the researcher should show courtesy to his or her colleagues by treating them equally and fairly. Okay, so that is our 6th to 10th, ethical principles. We have respect for intellectual property, confidentiality, responsible publication, responsible mentoring, and respect for colleagues. Okay, so if you are still with me, tap yourself because you're doing great. Okay, you're still holding, diba? And we will be having our last 5 ethics codes and principles after our short break.
De Luna.
Present!
Herrera.
Present!
Valera.
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Okay, so let us now continue. Okay, we have the 11th ethical principle. We have social responsibility. Okay, so in here, the researchers should promote social good by working for the best interest and benefits of the environment and society as a whole. Okay, because research mainly helps our society, our community. All that we can see, objects or things around us are products of research. Okay, so as a researcher, you need to be responsible or socially responsible. Okay, number 12. Okay, number 12 is non-discrimination. The researcher should not discriminate based on sex, race, ethnicity, or any factor relating to scientific competence and integrity. Thus, research should be open to all people or entities who will participate in research. Okay, so I know in your research studies later on, you will be selecting, okay, the group of people you want to study. Okay, hence, you should not discriminate. Okay. 13th ethical principle is competence. So for competence, the researcher should possess necessary knowledge and skills in conducting a study. He or she should be equipped with a sense of professionalism and expertise to ensure competent results. Okay, so since you are all researchers, I know grade 11 learners that you are all competent enough not to make and accomplish your research studies later on. Of course, so let's now move to number 14. 14 is legality. The researcher should know and abide relevant laws, institutional and government policies concerning the legal conduct of research. Okay, so we need to consider also legality and, of course, abiding different relevant laws. Okay, and lastly, okay, the 15th ethical code and principle, we have human subject protection. Okay, the researcher should protect human lives by preventing and minimizing harms and risks. He or she should always uphold the human dignity, privacy, and autonomy of human subject to be used in the study. Okay, so for this one, of course, if you tend to test certain products, maybe in your research study, you need to make sure that it can cause no harm, okay, especially to humans. Okay, so we're now done with the 15 ethical codes and principles. So, I have a question po, okay? What will happen to you or the researcher if he or she refuses to follow these ethics and principles? Again, I repeat, what will happen to a researcher if he or she refuses to follow these ethics and principles? Okay, please key in your answers and we are very interested to know what are your responses for this. Okay.
Present. Herrera. Present. Valera.
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Okay, we're back. So, ayan. Okay, take note po sa ating mga students in our Facebook Live. Take note that you should answer po yung questions lang. Okay, so para maiwasan natin yung mga other reactions. Okay? Yan. So, let's now read po the responses from our dear students. Okay. So, according to Ria Theories, she said, without such rules, people would not be able to achieve the objectives and would not be able to have results they are looking for. Okay, very well said, Ria Theories. Very good. Okay, the same answer with Kate and Colleen. The research will not achieve its objective. Okay, this is also true. Another from Neil Adelan, it may cause harm to humans, animals, and or nature. Okay, this is also true, Neil. Thank you very much. Okay, another from Cyrene, his or her research will gonna be rejected. Okay, yes. Because it can lose yung kanyang dignity and validity of your research if you will not follow these ethical codes and principles. Okay, thank you very much, grade 11, for those responses. Okay, so we have discussed the processes and ethics in research. So this time, let's check your understanding. Yan. So from our discussion, what have you learned? Okay, what have you learned? Just can you give a certain word or phrase that you have learned in our discussion? Okay, so let me read some quick response from our comment section. What have you learned in today's learning episode? Okay, from Rachel Joy, the research process. Okay, another from Julius, ethics is important in conducting research. Okay, very good. Okay, another po from Adrian. I learned about the research processes. Okay, what about it? Yeah, Neil Adelan, today we discuss about the research process and ethics. Okay, thank you, Neil. Okay, lastly, may we read the answer from Daniela Rosete. I have learned the 7 steps of research. I became knowledgeable about ethics. Ethics, the moral principles which influence our behaviors and actions, determine our choices, and shape our daily lives. Ethics are also integral to the conduct of research, from the design of projects to collection of and analysis of data, and finally to the publication and communication of findings and recommendation. Also, I have learned the ethical principles: honesty, objectivity, integrity, carefulness, openness, respect for intellectual property, confidentiality, responsible publication, and etc. Okay. Full of learnings, Daniela. Thank you very much for your response. Ayan, so I hope, same with Daniela, you have learned a lot of things this morning. Okay, so watch out for a simple activity. I will give you time to breathe, okay? Because after this break, we will have a short activity.
Tatay, tapos na ako sa elementarya. Paano po ako makakapag-sekundarya? Ganito naman ang sitwasyon. Parang nakakatamad naman pong mag-aral.
Madali lang yan, anak. Easy peasy.
Education is exciting. Studying is challenging. And now I blend with learning. This is what you're gonna do. Google Classroom in the morning. Messenger radio is alright. Module at Zoom in the daytime. Browsing, searching all the time. Stay at home na muna, student. Sagot ng teacher, studies nyo. Teaching, guiding, and helping students with all their mind.
Huwag mawawalan ng pag-asa. Maging positibo lang sa buhay, huwag lang sa COVID.
Okay, welcome back. Okay, so for our last activity, this is our instruction. Listen carefully. Identify whether the following actions follow the ethical codes and principles of research. Write go. Okay, comment go with the corresponding number po, item number, if you think it is ethical. Okay, go for ethical and stop if it is unethical. Okay, kindly indicate the number item as you send your answer. So for example, number 1 is go. Okay, number 2 is stop. Okay, indicate the item number. Okay, please send the wow reaction if you got the instruction po. If the instruction is clear, send a wow reaction. Let us see. Okay, thank you very much. Ayan, Nisi, Carlo, John Paul. Okay, thank you. So, since you are ready, let us now start with statement number 1. Okay. The statement is securing the safety of research participants. Again, securing the safety of research participants. Go or stop. Okay, comment down your answers. 5 seconds. April has an answer already. Limelson. Jane Lucille. Oh, with ano pa talaga siya. Natalie, Jasmine, AZ, and Lori, Monica. Okay, so for item number 1, if your answer is go, then you are correct. Okay, very good. For those who got item number 1, you need to secure the safety of your participants. Okay, let's now move to number 2. Listen. Rejecting criticisms from others. Again, rejecting criticisms from others. Go or stop. 5 seconds only. Okay. Brian Lester has an answer for number 2. Also, Althea, April, Christine, DeGracia, Jocelyn Garbo, also, and Mel June Ramos. Yung word po ang ilagay na stop. Okay? Natalie, Irish, Ivan, Eliza. Okay, so for item number 2, the correct answer is stop. Okay, you must accept. Okay, accept criticisms from others because it could help in improving our researches. Okay, very good. Congratulations for those who got item number 2. Okay, third item. Exposing personal identity of respondents. Again, exposing personal identity of respondents. Stop or go. 5 seconds. Okay, Brian has an answer for number 3. Also, April, Ira, Garcia, Jemima, Valdez, MJ, Rasqueta, Mary Joy, Felipe, Zian, Ivan, Nicole, Jessame. Okay. Okay, so for item number 3, okay, 5 seconds lang po in each item. For item number 3, the answer is stop. Okay, congratulations. I can see in our comment section a flood of stop answers. Okay, let's move to number 4. Okay, listen. Carrying out inconsistent actions. Again, carrying out inconsistent actions. Okay, stop or go. Okay, comment your answers. 5 seconds. Okay, Althea has an answer already. Number 4. Ira also. Althea. MJ. Okay. Varied answers for number 4. There are answers of go or and stop. Ayan. Okay, so let's see. For number 4, the correct answer is stop. Okay, carrying out inconsistent actions. It should be consistent po. You should be consistent in your words and actions. Okay, I hope that is clear now. Okay, number 5. Number 5, treating all peers equally. Again, treating all peers equally. Go or stop? Kyren, okay, has an answer for number 5. Also, Patricia Aquino, Geraldine, Eritz, Kate, Linel, Natalie. Okay, so for number 5, the correct answer is go. Ayan, so very good. Congratulations. Okay. Moving on to item number 6. Duplicating other publications. Again, duplicating other publications. Key in your answers. Go or stop. 5 seconds. Okay, we have an answer from April, Ivan, Jocelyn, Jessa, Patricia, Geraldine, Natalie, Jads. Okay, so for item number 6, the correct answer is stop. Okay, because this is a form of plagiarism what we are going to duplicate the publications, no? Okay, so number 7. Moving to number 7, we have obeying relevant laws. Again, obeying relevant laws. Go or stop. 5 seconds. Ivan answered. Okay, number 7, Natalie, Mary Joy, Isitel, Eritz also, and Nicole, Eliza. Okay, so we'll now give the answer for number 7, obeying relevant laws. This is a go. Ayan. Because you need, okay, the researcher need to obey relevant laws. Okay, congratulations for those who got item number 7. Number 8. Okay, last 3. Number 8, keeping agreements. Okay, keeping agreements. Go or stop. Okay, Jeffrey answered. Okay, G. Irish also has an answer. April, Ivan. I want to commend Ivan. Very responsive siya today. And also, I see Natalie, Zian, Eritz. Okay, Jessa, Nicole. Ayan. They have the same answers, which is a go. Ayan, go po ang answer for number 8. You should keep your arrangements. Okay, congratulations. Number 9. Number 9, searching from credible online sources of information. Again, searching from credible online sources of information. Go or stop. Okay, Sheila Marie answered go. Also, Zian, Seth, Isitel, Stephanie, Ivan, Natalie. Okay. So for item number 9, searching from credible online sources of information is a go. Ayan po, very good. For those who answered go. Okay, so we need to check no if our sources are credible. Okay? Let's move to the last item, number 10. Falsifying reported data and results. Again, I repeat, falsifying reported data and results. Is it a go or stop? Okay, comment your answers. Okay, we have an answer from Sheila Marie, followed by Althea, Linel, Ivan, Geraldine, April, Eliza also. Okay, so for our last item, okay, falsifying reported data and result is a stop. Okay, stop talaga, S-T-A-H-T. Gracious. Okay, congratulations for those who got item 10 correctly. Yan, may I know po who got perfect 10? Okay, kindly send a heart, no, comment in our comment section. Heart if you scored 10. Okay, and then 7 to 9 is like. Okay, and 6 below, comment wow reaction. Ayan. Okay, wow. Nisi, Trisha, Jasmine, got a perfect score. Heart. Jemima also. Christine. Ayan. Meljun Ramos. Okay. I'm so happy that we have a floods of heart comments, no? It means we have learned a lot of things. Nanonotice po natin, Chris. Okay, recorded naman ito. Okay? Okay, hindi lang mabasa lahat. Okay, so thank you very much, our dear listeners and students that are actively participating in our activity. Okay? So, as we end our today's learning episode, please take note of your week 2 task. Okay, on your module 2. Okay, please take note po, week 2 task on your module 2, page 13. Page 13, what can I do? Okay, I repeat, module 2, page 13, what can I do? Okay, apply what you have learned today to accomplish the different activities. Yan, cheers to you, grade 11 researchers, for making it until the end. Your participation and frequency of correct responses are manifestations of your eagerness to learn and your level of understanding. Until next time, this has been your radio teacher, Teacher Majo, for this learning episode in Practical Research 1, still live in Isabela National High School, Senior High School, Champ Campus Radio. Yan, stay safe and God bless everyone.
Isabela National High School.
INHS On Air Senior High School.
INHS On Air.
Your homeschooling buddy.
Are you interested in setting up and managing your own business? Does your heart and passion direct you into the world of global market? Come, listen and learn to be equipped with the goal of reaching greater heights to develop our society. ABM is ready to inflate as the future entrepreneurs thriving for success.
Okay, so good morning, grade 12 learners. Welcome to another learning episode on business ethics and social responsibility. I hope that you are having a splendid and a blissful day. Join me as we learn new things in the field of business. This is your teacher broadcaster for this hour, Elsie Alera, who believes that being good is good business. Okay, so how are you there, grade 12? I hope that you're all doing great. Please send an emoji, a heart emoji, so I may know that you are with me and are now ready to take the flight. Okay, so shout out to the following students who tune in. We have here Edgar Fidal, Junior, Faithlyn Gascon, Aizalea Corpus, Christine Joy Terenal, Mandy Datul, Maureen Balagbagan. Yan, thank you for joining in my class. All right, welcome to the business world. Welcome, grade 12 accountancy, business and management strand. Stay tuned only here at 97 MHz INHS HSS Champ Campus Radio. Okay, so our lesson for today is all about business ethics and social responsibility, and this is one of the specialized subject in ABM. Okay, so to start with, may I read the objective for today's lesson? You are expected to differentiate the forms of organizations or the different forms of business organizations. Give examples of the different forms of organizations found in your locality. Show appreciations on how these organizations contribute to socio-economic development. Okay. Nowadays, many businesses are closed due to COVID-19 pandemic, and only those businesses which are considered essential, such as food businesses and medical services, remain. Pero syempre, as times goes by, inut-inut, there are businesses that are already opened up for the public. Okay, so the role of this business is to produce and distribute goods and services to satisfy a public need or demand. Society doesn't exist without some of these businesses to our economy. Okay, so shout out to our 63 viewers and listeners. Thank you for tuning in. Still waiting for the other students. Okay, so before we start with our lesson proper, can someone define the difference between ethics versus social responsibility? Comment down your understanding and we will read them after this short break. I repeat.
De Luna.
Present!
Herrera.
Present!
Valera.
Present!
Handa ba tayo sa school year 2020?
Present!
Ngayong taon, ang edukasyon tuloy pa rin. Sa tulong ng DepEd, mga guro at mga magulang, Ang handang isip, handa bukas. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-aaral. May mga modules para sa iba't ibang antas. Sa government TV, maging sa radyo. Mahalagang ligtas ang ating mga estudyante at guro. Kaya kahit nasa bahay, tuloy ang edukasyon. Kung tulong-tulong, may paraan, may aralan.
Handang isip, handa bukas.
Bisitahin ang DepEd Philippines sa Facebook at ang deped.gov.ph.
Okay, so as I've said, I asked you to define the difference between ethics versus social responsibility. Okay, so thank you to Jessica Dakwag. Sabi niya rito, the concept of ethics is to know what is right and wrong for the company and its workers, while the concept of social responsibility is knowing what impact one's business is making in the society and whether it is right or wrong. Okay? Sabi naman na Angelica Bautista, ethics tends to focus on the individual or marketing group decisions, while social responsibility take into consideration the total effect of marketing practice on society. Okay, thank you. Sabi naman ni Christine Joy Cho, while ethics in general are concerned with the right and wrong, business ethics focus on doing what is best for the shareholders and stakeholders. On the other hand, social responsibility is focused on the company's impact on the environment and the community. Okay, thank you guys for sharing. Sabi dito ni Jovan de la Teore, ethics speaks to individual, occupational organization. Okay, parang parehas tayo ng source, Evan. Or societal, morals, and values. While social responsibility is the practical applications of ethical concerns for the benefits of a society as a whole. Okay, very good. Okay, so thank you for those who shared their definitions and differentiations of ethics versus social responsibility. Okay, sabi dito ni Beverly Bayan, ethics speaks to individual. So same with Ivan De La Torre kanina. Okay, so Julie Jane Castaneda Guani sabi, the basic difference between ethics and business ethics is that ethics in general comprises all moral values, while business ethics only involve what is related to business. Of course, thank you. So, as based on your definitions, our lessons for this hour is all about business ethics and social responsibility. Okay? Okay, so some of the students already differentiates ethics versus social responsibility. And some of them have the same with mine. Ethics in general are concerned with right and wrong. Business ethics focus on doing what is best for the stakeholders and shareholders. On the other hand, social responsibility is focused on the company's impact on the environment and community. Ethics can be defined as individual, occupational, organizational, or societal morals and values, while social responsibility is the practical applications of ethical concerns for the benefits of the society as a whole. All right. How about the difference between ethics versus business ethics? How about the differences between ethics versus business ethics. I have read answers a while back. Sabi dito, ethics are moral principles that guides one's actions, while business ethics applied to business practice and decisions. Okay, so moving on. This is just a review before we proceed to the business ethics proper. Okay, I know you are all familiar with the different forms of business organizations. Okay, and this was repeatedly discussed in all your major subjects in the ABN. Okay, so let's have a recap. Please comment down what are the 3 forms of business organizations according to its ownership and definitions. Okay, what are the 3 forms of business organizations according to its ownership and its definitions? Okay, so I will be reading your answers after this short break.
Tatay, tapos na ako sa elementarya. Paano po ako makakapag-sekundarya? Ganito naman ang sitwasyon. Parang nakakatamad naman pong mag-aral.
Madali lang yan, anak. Easy peasy.
Education is exciting. Studying is challenging. And now I blend with learning. This is what you're gonna do. Google Classroom in the morning. Messenger radio is alright. Module and Zoom in the daytime. Browsing, searching all the time. Stay at home na muna, student. Sagot ng teacher, studies nyo. Teaching, guiding, and helping students with all their mind.
Huwag mawawala ng pag-asa. Maging positibo lang sa buhay, huwag lang sa COVID.
Okay, and we're back. Okay, so as I've said, I asked you to comment down the 3 forms of business organizations according to its ownership and definition. Okay, so I have read here. Wala namang mga definitions. Okay, so according to Bianca Cadorna, okay, so the 3 forms of business organizations are sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. Okay. Mary Joy Ganaban said sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporation. Okay. Jesus Vizcara said also sole proprietorship, partnership, and corporations. Okay, let us define the 3 forms of business organizations. Okay, so sole proprietorship, this is just a review class, is the type of business entity owned and operated by a single person, while a partnership is a business owned by 2 or more persons who contribute resources to the entity. These partners divide the profits of the business among themselves, while corporation is an enterprise chartered by law with most of the legal rights of a person, including to conduct a business, to own and sell property, to borrow money, to sue and be sued. A corporation is a business organization that has a separate legal personality from its owners. And the ownership in a stock corporation is represented, of course, by the shares of stocks. Okay, so thank you guys for commenting down your answers. Okay, sabi dito ni Meryl Febrio, sole proprietorship is the type of business entity owned and operated by single person. Okay, so as simple as a sole proprietorship owned by only one person, partnership owned by 2 or more persons, corporations owned by 15 or more persons, as they call shares holders, shared by Peter Paul Aidan. Thank you, Peter. Okay, thank you for commenting down your answers. There are also major contributions of business organizations in our socio-economic development. Business are considered the engine of the economy because they contributed to our country through paying corporate taxes so that the government can provide and promote social welfare of its citizens. Because business provides job opportunities which compensate the people in the society.
Amazing!
Okay. Social responsibility is an ethical framework and says that an individual has an obligation to work and cooperate with other individuals and organizations for the benefits, of course, of the community that will inherit the world said individual leaves behind. Okay? So what is the social responsibility and its examples? Okay, so working for the community is one, such as volunteering, giving blood donations, and working at a food bank or animal shelter. Okay, so supporting issues that affect society, such as advocating political or social issues that can help others, for example, advocating for a child labor laws, purchasing fair trade products, recycling. Okay, thank you very much, ABM 12, for sharing your answers. Okay, so for your activity, comment down your answers below with your name and section so I can identify later. These are the questions. For number 1, based on your answers, what forms of business organization is best described by the following items or by the following statements? I am the only owner of my business. I take all the risks of doing business. I keep all the profit. Okay, so what are these forms of business organizations? Okay, so I'll be reading your answer after this short break.
Tatay, tapos na ako sa elementarya. Paano po ako makakapag-sekundarya? Ganito naman ang sitwasyon. Parang nakakatamad naman pong mag-aral.
Madali lang yan, anak. Easy peasy.
Education is exciting. Studying is challenging. And now I blend with learning. This is what you're gonna do. Google Classroom in the morning. Messenger radio is alright. Module at Zoom in the daytime. Browsing, searching all the time. Stay Sabot ng teacher studies nyo, teaching, guiding, and helping students with all their might.
Huwag mawawala ng pag-asa. Maging positibo lang sa buhay, huwag lang sa COVID.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so going back to the questions, what forms of business organization is best described by the following statements? I am the only owner of my business. I take all the risks of doing business and I keep all the profit. Okay, so reading of answers. The answer is sole proprietorship. Okay, thank you for answering. Miss Meryl Febrio, Aisa Leia, Julie Jane, Bianca Cadorna, Ana May Bayan, Angelica, Jeanne, Mary Joy, Esli Jean, Angela Joanna, Bialin, Bianca. Okay, thank you very much for commenting your answer. The answer is sole proprietorship. Okay, so for number 2 question, Meralco, PLDT, Globe Telecom, Smart, SM Holdings are examples of what forms of business organizations. Okay, comment down your answers. Meralco, PLDT, Globe Telecom, Smart, SM Holdings are examples of what business or what form of business. Okay, so they are now typing on their answers. The answer of Crystal Shelo Marzan, Peter Paul Aidan, Pauline Faye, Benedict Garcia, Crystal Shelo, Ivy Claire, Laika Lorraine, Jen Mate, Julie Jane, Bianca Cadorna, Christine Joy, Cho, Maureen, Cristel, Kiana. Okay, so their answers is corporation, which is correct. Okay, thank you for typing down or commenting down your answers. Okay, so for number 2 questions, Benji and Iris own a salon together. They share equal responsibility and receives 50% of the profit. What forms of business organization is this? Can I repeat? Benji and Iris own a salon together. They share equal responsibility and each receives 50% of the profit. What forms of business organization is this? Okay, so some students are now commenting down their answers. From Jubilin Tenedero, Pauline Faye, Meryl, Crystal Shelo, Chervic, Julie Jane, Michael Adorable, Mary Joy Ganaban, Bianca, Crystal. Okay, so same people are answering. Okay, so thank you. The answer is partnership. Okay, very good, dear students. Okay, so thank you for your answers and participations. Don't forget to take selfie while listening over the radio or watching via Facebook Live. Only here at 97 megahertz INHS SHS Champ Campus Radio. Send them to our GC as your MOV. Okay, we will be right back after this short break.
Jose, bakit di ka pa nakikinig? Oras na ng klase ninyo sa radyo ah.
Hindi naman po ako nakikita ni teacher eh.
Huwag magpabaya sa pag-aaral. Ang pagsisikap ay daan sa pag-unlad.
Isang paalala mula sa DepEd Region 2 at ng himpilang ito.
De Luna.
Present!
Herrera.
Present!
Okay, so are you still there, grade 12? Okay, so shout out to John May Agoot, Chaylord Limon, Linus Sander for tuning in. Okay, so for your reflections for today's session, I want you to reflect on this to be submitted in our private messenger. Okay, how do you and your family cope up with the financial crisis that we are encountering while we are trying to overcome this pandemic? I repeat, how do you and your family cope up with the financial crisis that we are encountering while we are trying to overcome the pandemic? I know even you're at home, you can organize any forms of business ownership for you to cope up with the financial crisis we are encountering. Just look on the opportunities brought about by this pandemic. Seize the opportunity. Okay, you will be surprised that you turn the impossible to possible if we rely solely to Him, who is in control of the unwelcome atmosphere. Okay, so before we end these discussions, I would like to share Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand." Okay, so again, this is your teacher, broadcaster in business ethics and social responsibility, Teacher Elsie, who says, God sees our heart and mind. He knows our needs, our worries, our fears. So trust in His presence. Good day, ABM 12. See you next RBI meeting.
Hatid namin sa inyo ang mga impormasyong siksik at malaman, pang-negosyo at pang-kabuhayan. Mula sa INHS Senior High School ABM Department, ito ang INHS SHS Campus Radio. 97 MHz FM na kampiyon sa puso ng bawat mag-aaral na Ilagenyo. Be business-minded, be accountable and be informed. For we don't just rule, we double rule. This is INHS SHS Campus Radio.